Why did Divinity create empaths to take on other people's energies? Sometimes that feels like a mean trick. So I want to ask you, Rain.
Welcome to our channel. I'm Rain, with over 20 years of experience as an NLP practitioner, light worker, and channeler through divine inspiration. Here to help you connect with your true self.
And I'm Mel, an empath, lightworker, and connector, passionate about guiding you to set boundaries and thrive.
Together, we bring you weekly tools and insights to support your empath journey.
If you're ready to deepen your connection with self, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Let's dive in.
So almost all the empaths that are on this planet are actually from a very high realm of reality in the universe. So basically, we come here because our empathetic nature is so intense. Think of angels and how angels just love, 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 love. It's that kind of frequency that empaths have. So when we come on planet Earth, as much as we forget and don't remember, the essence of us remembers how attuned we are to everyone and everything at all times, right? So we're always feeling all the time. That's the soul version of us. But when we come here, that part of us doesn't shut down completely. It's the thing that continues to stay open. And the reason for that is it's our way of it's the way in which we get to remember. It's the way in which we can continue to remember that we are one with divinity. It's the only way in which empaths, we have the shortest distance to source. Empaths are the shortest distance to source because we have a very clear, loud memory inside of the powerful being that we are and the incredible connection we have with divinity. Not saying that other beings don't have that connection outside of planet Earth. Every being outside of planet Earth has a very deep connection with divinity. But there are different layers, and layers is not hierarchy, but layers. So empaths specifically, when we have chosen to come on this planet to be of service, that part of being of service didn't shut down. Okay. That loving nature that we have, that angelic nature, is it's dimmed down by the ego, but it's still there. It's our phone call to source. I'm seeing like a phone call. Like, this is how we call back to source, be like, help, I'm not feeling well. Help, I'm very alone. Help, I don't know what to do. This is how we can connect. This is what reminds us to go back to divinity. That's why divinity made sure that part of that still exists within us, because we are the way showers. I'm hearing we are the way showers of the Earthians. So Earthians are different souls, but we are the way showers of the Earthians. So if we completely forgot the way the Earthlings have forgotten, nobody would be able to show the way. Okay. So this is why us empaths have come here with the memory of, oh, if I can feel your pain, I can heal it for you. If I feel yours, I can heal it, because this is what we do. This is what we did in the universe. This is what we did in other realities and realms. It was so easy. We would feel someone, but because we are so powerful, that energy would come in and would transmute and transfer within seconds. So we never held on to anything. Nothing was ours to hold on to. We just did it naturally. But we come to planet Earth with that magical ability. But here, with the ego and the 3D and the earth energy and the loss of memory, we tend to take it and try to transmute it and give it back. And it's a lot slower and it doesn't work the same way. But it also is a reminder that we are powerful beings and we are very connected to divinity. All we need to do is ask. Does this make sense?
Wow. Yeah. Ooh, okay. What is the divine purpose of empaths absorbing the emotions and energies of others, even when it feels overwhelming and heavy?
Okay, so we as empaths tend to absorb, and we're being taught not to, of course, but we tend to naturally absorb because, as I said before, this is the kind of beings we were. We were like the healers of the universe, let's say. Okay, that's the only word that comes to mind here. So the healers of the universe. any planetary system, any beings that are not feeling well, all they had to do was come into our presence and it's like a spa. We are the spa. Okay. So we are the spa of the universe. Okay. We've come to planet Earth to do the same thing here, thinking it's a piece of cake, but we don't remember. Okay. We logically have no memory of it, but we intuitively know. So anytime we're across anyone who's feeling bad, especially parents or people we love, we're really like, hey, I'm the spa. Here, So I'll do the thing that I know so well, and I'll spit you out, and you'll be fine. And it's supposed to take seconds. You're not supposed to live inside of me. But that's not what we end up doing here because they're not healed in a blink of an eye the way we're used to. Okay. And so we keep them inside, waiting for what we remember, like our essence remembers this should take split second. It's taking years. And so we end up filling up with all these energies within us. So the purpose of us absorbing this energy from other people is actually not to heal or fix. So it's a different kind of reality here. And this is what we came to actually learn and fine tune within ourselves. Okay, so we want to help humanity and we want to help everyone feel better. We know how to do it. It's an innate talent we all have, but then it kills our body, right? This body cannot handle all these other energies and emotions, especially if we can't purge them out. What we're meant to actually do, which we're supposed to feel those energies, and the minute we touch base with them, it's like the minute we feel them, immediately we block them, which is the opposite of what we know to be true, right? What we know to be true is we don't block anyone. We absorb everyone so we can make them feel better. But the opposite is true here on planet Earth. It's knowing where I end and where they begin and where they begin and where I end. I'll touch them, I'll feel them. That person is really sad. I feel that they've lost something big in their life. And you're feeling all the stuff from somebody. You can't heal it within you anymore. What we are learning and what we can do here is I can heal them outside of me. And what we are here to actually do is we send a prayer, okay, to that being, because as empaths, our prayers and our words are like magic spells. I know the whole world uses them, but dark forces use the other way. But it's like if I say, Mel, I bless you with love and peace. Okay. I hope you find the way. I will ask Divinity to show you the light, to pour light over you and to lighten up the load. I've already cast the spell. I've done the healing. I don't have to take it in. But the reason we need to feel, because we need to know how many people need our magic spell. Okay. So if I'm walking around and I'm not feeling anybody else's feelings, which a lot of humans actually are not empaths and they're just walking blindly in life, nobody's praying for anyone. Nobody's providing a manifested desire or a visualization for these beings. Okay. So think of it as, and it's not to be arrogant in any way, think of it as us empaths, we're angelic beings on the planet, dressed up as human beings. But we have to learn a new way of helping others with the five senses and the tools we have, and not by absorbing them in. Is that making sense?
Yeah, because obviously it's not that system's not working. Whatever we're doing isn't working because it's depleting us. We're getting drained. We're feeling heavy. We're days where I'm like, I don't even want to be here. It's too much. Like I just don't know how to separate. And so obviously we're having to shift and learn something new here and feel and experience the difference here of how it works in the earth, right? Setting.
Yes, something like that. So it's like this is something we do naturally. We come here, and now we can't do it because the body in which we are residing in gets exhausted and gets confused and doesn't know who it is anymore. And it doesn't take a split second, it takes years on end, and it still doesn't happen. Like it doesn't happen. So, what's another way to explore our empathetic nature, but not have to take it in? I keep hearing the words in which you speak out vibrates into the energy, and actually that wish is fulfilled for the person. So you're walking down the street You see a blind man, you see a woman, on a wheelchair, you see another couple fighting. As you're walking as an energy, instead of receiving all this inside to heal it, there's this thing where I start to visualize that you're walking in a golden bubble. Okay. And as you're walking in this golden bubble, it can't penetrate, but as it touches the golden bubble, you're receiving, oh my God, this one had, oh my God, this blind person used to see, but now they can't. Like you're going to receive this information, whether you believe it or not, but you will. You immediately make a prayer, make a prayer. So you're walking down the street, making a prayer for everyone that you have noticed or felt and been like, oh, the reason I felt what I felt is not for me to shift or change the energies, is for me to just make a prayer, trusting 1,000, 1,000,000% the divinity is taking care of it. So now you're basically
Mm.
like when you go to the bank and you're putting in your money into the account, you're not going to follow the teller, right? Walk behind her and be like, did you put it in the thing? Is it in my account? Did you, you're not going to do it. You're going to trust that here, this is the money, right? Put it into my account. Okay. And you're just going to trust and walk away, and she will take care of it, or he will take care of it. It's the same idea. I don't know why I'm getting the bank thing, but anyway, the same exact idea. Our practice is to trust that the minute I made that spell for that person, I have given, it's no more, I'm not responsible to do it. It's the way that an empath can remember that we are connected to divinity, and I want to give responsibility to divinity 24 hours a day. So I'm responsible to walk down the street, to go into the supermarket. I'm responsible to feel everyone and then to make a prayer for all of them. The minute I make a prayer for all of them, it drops out of my energy field.
Mm. Okay, I like that. Yeah, it's feeling like it's like, okay, we allow people, like as empaths, we have the gift of being able to feel so much sense where they don't even, like it's like it's a bubble. We can feel that, oh, someone touched my bubble, but I have this protection. I'm not going to let them in because I don't want to absorb their energy, because I'm capable of doing that. I can do that because I have that gift, but I don't want to because that drains me. It's too much of their influence. I feel too deeply, but I just want to feel it enough where it reminds me, oh, I get to send love to that person. So you can touch my bubble. I will send love, and then it's on. It's off. It's off on its way. That's all that needs to happen. But I think that's what we need to do is realize, like, okay, I can allow someone to touch me, but they don't get to like squeeze me or suck me dry. And it's just being mindful, like we have the power to choose how much we want to let them in. And really, we shouldn't let anyone in our aura field. So it's right. And just, you can touch, I send you love, and I go on my way to experience all the other energies that I want to experience that day. Hopefully, a lot of my own. And giving love
Yes.
to others along the way, because I have enough love for myself and for those around me.
Yes, exactly. Yes, 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 yes. So it's like we have to understand the magical power of the empath words. They're very, 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 very strong. They're like nuggets of gold that come out. So just think of
Mm,
them as nuggets of gold, like little gold bubbles coming out of our mouth and being fulfilled, right? So
mm.
this is all we're supposed to learn how to do, actually.
Wow.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay. What is, and I don't know if we've already answered this. So if it is, because it feels kind of close, but if you have anything to add, let me know. If not, I have another question. But what is the role or purpose of an empath?
Okay, so just a little bit more info. We've already touched the role of an empath is to remember that we are connected to divinity and we're here to be of service. The second role is to understand what being of service actually means. So this is one of our major challenges is being what is being of service. And I think a lot of empaths are waking up to the fact that being of service does not mean that they have to enter me. Okay? Being of service can mean they're out there and I am in here. And as they are out there, I can heal them, but you don't have to come, you don't have to get too close. Another purpose is, it sounds so corny, but we're here to spread love. We are here to spread love. That's all I hear. You're here to just spread love, You've just had, so I'm hearing like, you're here to spread love. You've just had it. all upside down and you've been so mixed up because love on planet Earth is very different than what true love looks like. Okay, so we've been trying to spread love to the world using the program and the 3D way of love. And the 3D way of love is very uh, sensory based. If I hug you, I love you, right? If I buy you a gift, I love you. If I look at you, I love you. So we've been trying to do that. And so for us as empaths, a hug is here, come into my energy, come into my energy. So that's not what love actually looks like. Yeah.
Mm.
Is it making
So,
sense?
yes. Yeah. This one has been interesting for me tapping into the love thing. Because for me, I thought, oh, I just got to give love to everyone. I need to love everyone, even if someone's not nice to me or they're kind of rude or they do something. I just need to forgive them and I need to love them. I just keep pouring into them. If I pour enough love, then they're going to figure out how to be kind to me. But in the meantime, in that process, I don't think I was understanding what love was because somehow what I thought was love made me feel pain and was hurting me. So I've had to reevaluate the word love. And I think this is important to really talk about to be clear on because I know I'm not the only one that goes through this process. But so as I've been shifting, I've realized like my boundaries are firm and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm being like very like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking like sometimes how a narcissist talk or somebody that's just like, nope, I'm not going to do that. Nope. Yes. Like I find myself doing that and I'm like, this feels kind of weird. Like, am I changing? Am I losing my empathy? Is it, but I'm realizing like, no, actually I'm feeling good inside, but I'm like, is there something wrong with me? The fact I feel good, it's like me protecting myself or giving me a self-love of like, I can't put up with crap from anyone anymore. Like my pain tolerance that I used to have has gotten to like zero. Like, I don't care if you're my spouse, you're my kid, you don't get to talk to me that way, you know? And I'm like, nope. And I literally, my kid, I started to pour my heart out yesterday, and my 12-year-old did his little jokey thing or whatever. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to share with you. My daughter, come with me. We'll go in the room. I'll finish this conversation. He's like, no, 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 I want to hear. I was like, I was just trying to be funny. And I'm like, I don't like it when you're trying to be funny. When I'm pouring my heart, when I'm passionate and excited about something, that's not a time and the place to tell this joke right there. I don't like that, you know? And it was like, I was being very like, and this is my kid that's a kid, but I'm just like, I don't like people interrupting me when I'm in my zone, in my flow. Now I forgot what I'm talking about. And I really wanted to talk about this. Like, I don't have any pain tolerance. And I'm just like, I'm not putting up with it. Nope, I'm leaving. I like leave this space. But I'm like, is that self love? Am I getting twisted? Am I going the opposite? Is this good? Is it not? Like trying to break the other thing of like, oh, doesn't whatever you want, everybody else, even if it bugs me and bothers me, I'm just going to take it. Anyway, this is something I'd like to talk about.
Okay. So so instead of absorbing and giving excuses for bad behavior, you have very clear boundaries. So what they're saying is when you come across, let's use your son's example. It just popped in, so it's perfect. So your son is like joking around as you're being vulnerable. To him, he's uncomfortable, obviously, with it, right? This is to him like the biggest nightmare in the world where his mother will be vulnerable. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to cater. He has no skill set, right? So this is a nightmare, right? But to you, you're like, nope, this is unacceptable, which is beautiful. So you gave him a very clear way of understanding, respecting other people's emotions, and he doesn't have to do anything about it. He just has to be present and listen. Now, when this happens, so you've got anger now, and you're feeling bad for yourself and sorry for yourself, right? We all go through this. This is so normal, right? I go through this a lot with my kids, right? I start to feel sorry for myself, like, that's not fair. What I'm hearing is that at that moment in time, they need a prayer. So I don't allow them into my energy field. Finish. I've done the boundary. Be like, this, I don't respect. Very clear. Internally, I go in and I make a prayer. I pray that he feels comfortable with emotions. I pray that he's released from these constraints. I pray that he can see clearly. I pray he finds inner peace. That's the second fold. That's the actual fold of the empath, right? So I love that you did the clear boundary and expressed exactly that's a teaching lesson. But then the inner world of an empath is because there's still no forgiveness inside. We're still in our emotion, right? Having the ability to go and pray for that individual right then and there with what you request for them to feel and letting it go, you've already changed everything.
Mm,
Does it make sense now? Like,
yeah.
I love that you shared that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Because yeah, part of me is like, okay, maybe that really is what love is. And maybe in fact that's deeper level of love that not only did I set a boundary and respect myself and my needs without putting myself under the rug like I normally would for others just to make them feel comfortable. Oh, he's my, and justifying, oh, well, he's a kid. Oh, he's this, but allowing me to feel icky and uncomfortable and deal with something that really bothers me. That's the cycle I'm really trying to break. But now I'm in this like second guessing, like, ooh, was that not fair? Was that being really harsh for my young kid that his brain isn't developed? Like I go into all that this thing that we do, you know. But part of me is like, no, maybe this is showing example of love of like, because I want my kids to be that too, to say like, hey, just so you know, when I'm talking, please don't interrupt me when I'm in something. Like respect my space and when I'm sharing. And hopefully that is showing love of self. And then it ripples to them to see like, oh, I need to respect this other person. And then in fact, and then hopefully they don't do that, interrupt other people. And they're actually a better listener. And you know, they're good, they understand boundaries. Like maybe they're learning a lot of new skill sets that would not have been learned if I didn't respect and care for my need in that moment. That's what I'm hoping happening.
Yes. No, that's perfect. It's beautiful. It's like it's a constant state of growth. So it will keep evolving. But for now, this was a great way to protect yourself and to share your truth without having to coddle anyone, even if it's a child. And at the same time, you have the freedom to also pray for what you desire that person to start to feel. And that is what I mean by these golden, they're like water bubbles that come out of our mouth, right? So I think most importantly, what I'm hearing is like make sure that whatever state, because we empaths will feel frustration, anger, all the fabulous emotions of earth, of the egoic earth, is before I make a statement to make sure that I am clear enough to make a proper prayer, because I can make a prayer and be like, God, he's so selfish. He just thinks of himself. When will he ever learn? I can't believe this. I'm exhausted. That's still a spell. So then they'll just repeat it again because I've just made that spell. So it's like, I'm going to bite my tongue and I'm going to say, give him love, give him peace, let him be more attentive. Da, 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 da.
Yeah,
It's
positive.
so challenging though in the moment. I've been trying and practicing it with my kids. I'm like, ugh, you know? Yeah.
Okay. What lessons are empaths meant to learn through their sensitivity to the emotions and pain of others?
We're like the antennas and the detectors on this planet. When we are calibrating and calculating how many people feel better and how many people don't. So as we walk through this planet, we are like, okay, 500 people in sadness, 500 people in despair. Da, da, da. It's like we're calculators and we're sending that information to some database, which is very interesting. There's a database that's receiving this. So we're like giving them the information. We don't have to do anything with this information. We're just supposed to monitor what's happening on the planet, right? So I've smiled to this many people today. I've made sure to like help this person, not energetically in me, but outside of me, right? I don't know what the ripple effects are. All I know is I did my part. But we as empaths, our sensitivity and emotions and how we're pained for others, don't forget we are from a very high realm of beings. To be on planet Earth and see so much pain being done upon others from the same species is extremely painful for us. Okay. It hurts our being, it hurts our essence, it hurts our heart. That's why we want to absorb them all inside and shift it, right? We don't want everyone to be this horribly sad and angry. However, we're not here to do that. We are truly here to sense what is happening, okay? To be the observer of how this planet is shifting, to hold very clearly into our power, understanding that we are from a very high realm of beings, okay, that are here to just monitor. We're here to monitor and request. Our wishes are answered quicker than anybody else's wishes. This is what I just heard. I, you have no idea, dear one, how powerful every word that comes out of your mouth is. Every word that comes out of your mouth is super powerful. Every wish you make for someone, every prayer you make for someone, every judgment you make, you're changing everything. So it's like we're to learn that no matter how much we're feeling or how much despair we're feeling, watch for the words that come out of our mouth. It doesn't mean we can't feel what we feel. We can feel what we feel and take care of us. But even the words we tell ourselves need to be of great honor and respect. So we need to honor and respect our feelings. We need to honor and respect everyone else. It doesn't mean that I need to have them in my life or have anything to do with them. So like Hitler, for example. I know it's a very strange example, but I just heard it in a book a while back. Hitler, you can still send prayers for Hitler and everyone who suffered through the hands of Hitler, right? And I know it sounds really upside down, but it's like I'll never be friends with Hitler. I'll never ever want to hang out with Hitler. I won't even approve of anything Hitler comes up with. But I have the freedom to send a prayer to that energy pocket because hopefully if I do, no other Hitlers will come on this planet.
Yeah.
Does it make
So it's like
sense?
yeah, like sending a loving energy to help shift their heart, to change their heart so it can be pure. Because the truth is, we need more pure hearts out there. So if we're sending hate to someone, that's hate energy that's going to grow more hate energy. So that's not going to work. So the best thing to do is just send love that their hearts can be softened, that they can also share more love and not hurt me again or hurt others again or whoever they're around. That's what we want in this world, right?
Yes. So I feel, which is very interesting right now. I don't know when anyone's going to watch this, but with the Trump, it's very similar. We are the spell weavers. So what we need to start doing is bring him inner peace, let him find serenity in the simple joys of life, right? And it's like prayers of that instead of, oh God, I hope he's this. And I hope it's a different prayer we need to do as empaths. If our words are that powerful, what would we like him to receive so that he can stop this monstrosity, let's say, right?
Mm.
I'd like him to feel inner peace. I'd like him to feel loved and adored, right? I would like him to feel seen and heard so that he's not doing all this to be seen and heard and is never fulfilled. So it's an endless quest that's
Yeah.
just filled with destruction. What does this, as empaths, we will know what every individual needs so that they can come down and start to be more loving and start to attune to the collective instead of go against the collective or use the collective. That's what I'm
Mm.
hearing. So it's like, what does this energy want? Because they're causing so much destruction. But if they got this thing, would they still be destructive? Or would they, oh, I got it. What is that? And that's the kind of prayer we start to do. And if we can do that on a multi-level of like us empaths everywhere in the world, this world will never look the same because these people are all going to change.
Wow. Because that's a lot of the most powerful energy in the world uniting together. But we have to be empowered and see this. Like, this is like this deep acceptance or radical acceptance that to look at. And the truth is, it makes sense to me. It just feels like, oh, and if I am sending like send this love energy that their heart will shift, this is a more peaceful, softer energy that I'm feeling in my body just talking about it versus like, I'm so pissed. Did you hear what he's doing and the damage that he's going to do? And let's look at this article. Like, it's icky. I'm feeling the icky. So if I'm feeling it and I'm that powerful, it's rippling so quick. So we have to truly shift this energy. It makes sense to me that like this is the only way through. And it starts right here that somehow I've got to shift whatever beliefs I have of like, well, but if I give him love, then that's forgiving him and he hurt my family, he hurt this or whatever. It's like shifting that. That's all the lies and the It has to be love. And I want every person to be filled with, especially if they're a leader, praying for our leaders, sending love to our leaders because they do have an influence. Someone running a country that gets to choose who the judges are of everybody that comes to that person, that's a big deal. They may have a big influence. So we truly do have to spread that love starting within and ripple it out and send it to them. I can, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's going to change a lot if we can all focus in that way and send out stuff like very, very specific. See, in the wish, in the prayer, it's a very specific. I'm seeing this individual as an empath now. Let me tune into this. We do it so well with everyone. Let's tune into, we'll take Trump as an example. Let's tune into Trump's actual pain, okay? His childhood pain, okay? The core that started all this, what is it? Feeling, okay? This person was mocked. This is what I feel. This is what I'm receiving now. I'm feeling. If I think of Trump, this person was mocked. Okay. They weren't taken seriously. Okay. This is the two things I'm just feeling right now. Okay. So I pray that this person feels loved because of his kindness. I hope this person is seen for the simplicity, the simple things he does and respected for. Right? He doesn't have to be explosive to be looked at and powerful. Like I start to give him a prayer because we all feel the people's pains. This isn't different. The only thing that's stopping us is our egoic mind from seeing. But if I'm with a friend, I can feel, oh my God, she was so destroyed as a child. I could feel something. I know something. I send her a prayer. But with somebody like Trump or Hitler, I'm not going to go into their history. I wish they burn and die. Right. But in reality, then I'm just going to multiply. There are going to be more productions of them until we can stop doing that.
Wow. Okay. This one's, this one's powerful. I'm like really absorbing all this. How can empaths shift their perspective to see their gift as a divine blessing rather than a burden?
Well, I think this whole entire conversation was showing us how it is a blessing. And it feels like a burden on 3D. The people who don't feel anybody's feelings, it feels like they have it so much easier, right? They can hurt this person and they wouldn't even care. And they can go here and they wouldn't even care. Like nothing, like it's irrelevant, right? But in reality, they're so dead inside. Like if you had to choose between being an empath, living in an as an empath in a human form, or as a non-empath in a human form, and you experience the body of a non-empath, you would definitely want to jump ship in 3 seconds, okay, and go
Mm.
back to the body that has the empath. It feels so empty and useless in the other form. Empty. They can't even get a connection to divinity. Nature doesn't make them even feel better. Imagine living in a body where going to nature, just looking at the sky or putting your feet on the grass, does nothing for you. Okay? That's how these humans feel. It does nothing. So there is no relief in anything that they do. Okay? At least us as empaths, we have this weird, strange connection with divinity. We know something larger is in existence. When we do go to nature, stand by the water, hug a tree, look at a tree, look at the sky, we feel a bit at peace. We can breathe a little bit. They can't even go there. They don't even have that possibility. Okay. So it's not a burden what we have actually, but we have never experienced being in another form on this planet. So we think we have it hard.
Mm. Wow. Okay. That was beautiful.
Mhm.
All right. My last question I have for you is what practices or guidance does divinity offer to help empaths replenish themselves and find balance in giving to others and receiving for themselves?
Well, it's just the connection to divinity. So empaths is very easy for them to replenish. It's actually second nature for most empaths to replenish. It doesn't take that long. It's very, very quick. And Divinity made sure to do that for us because he knows or she knows the weight of the world on the shoulders of empaths. Um, and it's interesting because I just said it's nature, right? Um, it's very rare to find an empath, true empath, that doesn't feel comforted by nature. Okay. And so just think of the whole entire planet. I don't care if it's the desert or in the mountains, anything to do with nature. That's why a lot of empaths have crystals in their homes. They're going to be called to crystals of any kind, even if it's one crystal. Almost all light workers and empaths have this desire for crystals. Why? Because it's nature, right? It's part of nature. We have it on our necklace. Somehow, this is what brings us back. This is what replenishes us. This is what reminds us that, hey, don't take this too seriously. Don't take this too seriously. You're not here forever. You're here for a very short time and you're gone. Just do your thing. So it's basically just nature.
So, is there anything else we need to do to balance in giving to others and receiving for ourselves? Are there any practical things where we don't? Is it just setting boundaries and just knowing when to say no and not just give everything to everyone in depletion of self? Like, see when when you're oozing and you're like, yes, I want to give, I want to help, I want to make dinner for you. Or times you're like, I'm really tired, I can't offer a dinner even though this person's in need. I'm sorry, I love you. Like, just trusting self. You know.
So giving, okay, interesting. There are two kinds of giving. There's the giving of my energy, and then there's the giving of my physical, meaning it's a lot easier for the human body to give physically. For example, let me carry this for you. Okay. I'll take your car and wash it. I'll cook you dinner. Like the physical 3D is so easy to give. We attach that kind of giving with emotions, with the energetic givings. So we can give endlessly if it was only physical and had nothing to do with energy. Okay. There's energetic giving, which is I'm going to give you this lipstick and I'm going to help you put it on. But the energy attached to it is I am doing something for you and I'm waiting to receive something in return. Right. So it's not basic, I'm putting on this lip gloss for you and making you look pretty. The action, there's an energy attached. If we can differentiate the two, I we as empaths will be able to give so much more, but we keep our energy to here. So how can we? This is the funky dance. How can I keep my energy for me, attach no meaning to the action I am taking, attach no meaning other than it's just the physical. Oh, I'm cooking to feed, I'm cooking to this. If one day I'm cooking and I'm feeling so in love with cooking, then great, energy of the cooking will be better. But there's like a difference between, so there are two ways of giving and two ways of receiving. Receiving energetically should only be receptive, should only be received through divinity. We are not permitted to receive energies from others. When we receive energies from others, like, oh, I want to do this thing for somebody so that they can be so happy, that interaction is I am taking energy from that person. I'm not receiving from source, so therefore I can give. Okay. So we're not supposed to be giving and receiving from each other energetically. We're all supposed to be only receiving from divinity, as in receiving, and we are only to be giving the physical, the 3D, the physical stuff, because they have to receive from divinity. This is if all of us must receive only from divinity. Okay. And I need to give my 3D help. That's it. So then there's no exhaustion and no depletion of any kind. Is that making sense? Because it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. Okay. Well, this was beautiful. A lot for me to absorb and sit with and practice and implement and shifting my energy. So, anyway, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.